A poor boy begs a billionaire to save his mother. In the bustling city of New York, where dreams thrived and lives collided, a young boy named Liam roamed the crowded streets. Barely 8 years old, Liam wore shoes too big for his tiny feet and a patched-up coat that hung loose on his small frame. His eyes, though, sparkled with determination. Liam's mother, Claire, lay gravely ill in a hospital, a hard-working single parent. She had poured her every waking moment into giving Liam a better life. But now, a rare and expensive treatment was her only hope of survival. The hospital had made it clear, without a substantial deposit, they couldn't proceed with the surgery. Desperate and out of options, Liam had spent the past week visiting local businesses pleading for help. Most people turned him away with an uncomfortable smile or a sympathetic pat on the head. Some didn't even bother to listen. One rainy afternoon, Liam overheard a group of men discussing a billionaire named Alexander Cole, known for his ruthless business acumen and towering presence. Alexander was a self-made man with an empire spanning tech, real estate, and finance. He was also rumored to have a cold heart, but to Liam, Alexander represented hope. The encounter determined, Liam ventured into the heart of the city, where Alexander's headquarters stood, a gleaming skyscraper that seemed to pierce the heavens. Security guards watched curiously as the small boy marched toward the grand entrance, clutching a letter he had written the night before. "I need to see Mr. Cole," Liam announced, his voice firm despite his trembling hands. The guards exchanged skeptical glances. "Kid, Mr. Cole doesn't just see anyone, especially not without an appointment." "It's an emergency," Liam pleaded. "Please, my mom is dying, and he's the only one who can help." Moved by the boy's sincerity, one guard made a call. Minutes later, to everyone's surprise, Liam was escorted to Alexander's private office on the top floor. The billionaire sat behind a massive oak desk, his piercing gray eyes fixed on the boy as he entered. Alexander was a tall, imposing figure, his tailored suit a testament to his wealth and power. Liam approached hesitantly, then handed him the letter. "Mr. Cole, my mom is really sick. The doctors say she'll die without surgery, but I don't have the money to pay them. You're the richest man I've ever heard of. Please, will you help us?" Alexander read the letter silently. It was written in a child's scrawl, filled with heartfelt words and a desperate plea for his mother's life. For a moment, something flickered in Alexander's expression, something almost vulnerable, but it vanished as quickly as it appeared. "Why should I help you?" Alexander asked, his tone cold but curious. "Because you can," Liam replied simply, "and because she's my mom. I'll work for you forever if that's what it takes. I'll clean, run errands, whatever you want. Just please don't let her die." Alexander leaned back in his chair, studying the boy. Then, without a word, he stood and pressed a button on his desk. "Cancel my afternoon meetings," he told his assistant, "and have my car brought around." Liam's eyes widened. "You'll help her?" "We'll see," Alexander said curtly. "Let's go." At the hospital, the drive to the hospital was tense. Liam fidgeted nervously, stealing glances at the stoic man beside him. When they arrived, the boy led Alexander to his mother's room. Claire lay unconscious, her face pale and her breathing shallow. Alexander stood frozen at the doorway, his usual composure cracked as he stared at the woman in the bed. His hands trembled and his face paled. Liam noticed and tugged at his sleeve. "Mr. Cole, are you okay?" Alexander didn't respond immediately. His mind raced as memories flooded back, memories of a woman who had once been his entire world. Claire was his first love, the one he had let slip away in his relentless pursuit of success. He hadn't seen her in over a decade, but there was no mistaking it. The woman in the hospital bed was Claire. Taking a deep breath, Alexander turned to Liam. "Your mother, how long has she been like this?" 2 weeks, Liam said, his voice cracking. "She didn't want to go to the hospital at first because we couldn't afford it, but I made her. I couldn't lose her." Alexander's heart clenched. He knelt to Liam's level, placing a firm hand on the boy's shoulder. "Listen to me carefully. I'm going to take care of everything. Your mother will get the best treatment, and she's going to be okay. I promise." Tears welled in Liam's eyes. "Thank you, Mr. Cole. Thank you so much." Revelations. Over the next few days, Alexander spared no expense. Claire was transferred to a private facility, where a team of top specialists worked tirelessly to stabilize her condition. Meanwhile, Alexander learned more about Liam's life and struggles. The boy's resilience and love for his mother moved him deeply. One evening, as Alexander sat by Claire's bedside, her eyes fluttered open. For a moment, she looked disoriented. Then her gaze focused on him, and her breath caught. "Alex," she whispered. "It's me," he said softly, his voice uncharacteristically gentle. "I'm here." Tears streamed down Claire's face. "How? Why are you here?" Alexander hesitated, then told her everything: how Liam had come to him, how he couldn't turn the boy away, and how seeing her again had shaken him to his core. "I'm sorry, Claire," he said, his voice breaking. "For everything. For leaving. For not being there when you needed me. I want to make it right." Claire looked at him for a long moment, then smiled faintly. "You already have. A new beginning." With Alexander's support, Claire made a full recovery. During her time in the hospital, Alexander grew closer to both her and Liam. He realized how much he had missed out on by prioritizing his career over personal relationships. When Claire was finally discharged, Alexander surprised them with an offer. He wanted to be a part of their lives again, not as a benefactor, but as family. At first, Claire was hesitant. She had built a life without him, and she wasn't sure if she could trust him with her heart again. But Alexander was determined to prove himself. Over time, he showed her that he had changed, that he was no longer the cold, ambitious man she had once known. As for Liam, he couldn't have been happier. He had not only saved his mother, but also gained a father figure who genuinely cared for him. Epilogue. Months later, Alexander and Claire stood side by side at Liam's school play, their hands intertwined as they watched the boy beam with pride on stage. Alexander had given up some of his business ventures to focus on what truly mattered: his newfound family. For the first time in years, he felt whole, and it had all started with a poor boy's desperate plea to save his mother.